Okay, workshop floors, they tend to sometimes have a lot of trip hazards. One of those is electrical cables, the other is airlines. Problem with the airlines is they don't cope with being laid on the floor and ran over very often because they tend to break very easily and then start to leak. Especially if somebody runs over them with like a wheelbase like this. If it's loaded, there's 4 tons on each wheel, not healthy for the material. I take my own and use my own airlines in the workshop because of the airlines get abused. They're also hidden away from prying eyes when I go home. Unfortunately, some people do think they have right to other people's properties. Right, so this is a synthetic rubber. You can get rubber air hoses. They have a strengthening braid underneath that. Generally, they're pretty good, even for when you have welding splatter around, whereas this PVC type pipe doesn't. I have a little secret I'm going to show in a little while. Okay, so this one is a 1/4" BSP fitting, which is on a PCL coupling. Other side, a PCL coupling which we use, and this one's dually clipped in. I cut the ends off that because I needed to modify it. This, however, the plastic ones are more durable than the rubber. They tend to last longer from dirt and from aging because rubber tends to perish. This is my hard working airlines, very heavy. I strap them together to stop thieving little gits from just taking one airline. They'll think twice about it when they've got to carry the whole damn lot. So what I have done here as a modification is to put some bicycle inner tubes over the dirty area end. Okay, this one covers the coupling. What you'll find sometimes I'll be doing welding in an area and I don't want my airlines damaged. Okay, so I have a 3.5" pipe. One is for high volume delivery, the other one is to just run basic air guns. They're supposed to run at 90 psi, but to be honest with you, I'm running most of mine at 130 psi. Okay, so here's what I've been doing today. Well, I've done a lot, but there's a shock absorber. Around the area where I'm working is a dirty zone. You have swarf and all sorts there. Tends to damage the airlines a lot quicker. So this is what I've done, is get the old bicycle inner tubes and made sure the ends, at least, of my airlines are protected or have a protection to give it a longer life. This is a use for old inner tubes that are no use. For instance, if you're working underneath your Land Rover, you could put more on your airline to protect the whole lot. Doesn't cost much. So what I have with my 3/4 gun, I have a new pair of gloves, and these are brilliant. These are to absorb impact. So you can see here, you can see the vibration. And this absorbs the vibration. This also is helpful when you're holding tools on the other side of an air gun. That's either for a 1/2" air gun or for 3/4 inch. Okay, so basically it's hard to operate the trigger with these gloves on, but you'll be surprised how much they absorb the impact, and I do feel it now, especially at my age. I still sometimes get numb hands. But these are hard to grip onto anything else. But they're brilliant. I'd advise them, even if you work in building sites, using hammers, manual hammers. This Polyco or Sigma, I don't know who make them. I got these for about £15. As you can see, the vibrations on these air guns, yeah, it gets tiresome after a while. Anyway, my toolbox, I'm absolutely sick to death of a small toolbox. I can't work out of one of these. It's just so messy, okay? But I will say I haven't bought much. I bought a tiny set of pliers from Snap-on. Their side cutters are brilliant. Do quick jobs, put them in my pocket and go on to the next job, whereas these bigger side cutters I'm using for things like split pins now. Also got some circlip pliers. Usually you need 2 types for jobs, which one will be angled and the other will be straight, and I do undo large circlips, as you can see by the size of these. Or what I'll do is just get this in focus by putting my hand behind there. This is the size of the hole for the circlip that I usually remove, which is for cams on the trailer brakes. Yeah, about time I got some of those. There's like 50 quid's worth there. And look, there's a dry flange for a Defender. And the lightsaber that we got about 2 years ago from forby.co.uk is still working. This is used 5 days a week, and other than the fact that I near enough run it over, it is quite robust. It's good. Anyway, this is my setup at the moment. It's going to change. You can see my safety gear hanging up. This is the position my toolboxes are in when I leave work, to stop thieving hands getting into my tools and using them. And to be honest with you, some people don't have respect for others' tools. I don't want that situation in the workshop. Anyway, that's just a little bit of an insight for today. My apologies for not being regular recently. You wouldn't believe how much work we have to do, especially when people are on summer holidays and we're short of fitters. So I'm literally working my nuts off. Yeah. So anyway, have a good weekend, guys and girls, and we'll see you soon.